Welcome WWE fans to your first WWE official Couch Rider report on Money in the Bank. My name is Brian Jemison, and I wanted to go over the pay-per-view with you just to go over some fine points and ask you a few questions as WWE wrestling fans. Did you feel that this Money in the Bank pay-per-view lived up to the hype, and did it live up to the standards of Money in the Bank in the past? If you ask me, it didn't. Not because of the ladder matches. However, I was very disappointed by, for lack of a better term, the filler that went down in between each and every match. I was very concerned at the fact that WWE could have booked better, but for some reason it seemed as though they just sent out the filler matches that appeared to be best for business. In my opinion, they were not best for business. And I'll tell you why. We've got Big E versus Rusev. Now, don't get me wrong. Rusev has presented himself to be a powerhouse. He's presented himself to be the man, so to speak, out of Bulgaria or Russia or wherever he's residing nowadays. And he's come through as a believable character. But I just can't help but think that Lana is really carrying him way more than any manager, way more than any valet should be carrying their wrestler or their client, as Paul Heyman would say. Big E held his own. I really would have liked to see Big E topple Rusev. I understand that's not in the works. They probably got something bigger planned, something along the lines of a Lex Luger, Yokozuna kind of storyline. So we'll see how that plays out. But the match was... It worked. It worked. It did. I just couldn't really get behind it, so to speak. And that was pretty much the motion of the night. I couldn't necessarily get behind Paige versus Naomi. In my opinion, Naomi probably should have taken home that belt. Well, not probably. She should have taken home the WWE Divas Championship right then and there. She outclassed Paige. She out-wrestled Paige. She made Paige look like a newbie. And as far as I'm concerned, someone who's been wrestling since she was 13 years old, as Paige has been billed to be, has not been delivering the goods that I would expect of a Divas champion. So Naomi, if you're listening out there, just know that I was rooting for you, girl. Now on to the ladder matches. Just wanted to say of my guys in the ladder matches, spot on. A+ effort. I mean, to top the list, Randy Orton gets 12, and he posted on his Twitter account, count them, 12 staples in his cranium. Big deal. Big effort. Roman Reigns came out and toppled the competition. Very great effort. Awesome job on the match. Of course, we saw big efforts from everyone in the match. Shout out to Del Rio, my personal favorite. Sheamus, John Cena. All the guys came and showed up, and they showed out for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Here it is. I've seen on my Twitter account, my personal Twitter account, @WorldFanChamp, that many have posted 15-time World Champion John Cena. Rejoice, get excited. I can't really get behind the 15 times. Unfortunately, I don't think that booking John Cena as a champion was... it wasn't the greatest turnout. It wasn't the greatest finish to the match. However, I will say this. There is no one in that match at this point that could have been booked as a champion and could ride the wave of the championship the way John Cena can do right now. That's just the fact of the matter. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. You might disagree with me. That's okay. Roman Reigns is not 100%. I've said it before. I'll say it again. He's not 100% ready. Not 100%. At this point, Del Rio... he's not really hot at this time. Sheamus is pretty hot. He's really warmed up. And so I could see Sheamus with a title reign and a believable title reign taking on some bigger competitors like Rusev. So that would be an interesting turnout if it were Sheamus. You know, all right, that could be understandable. But John Cena right now is what's best for business. As debuted on Raw, he just got the cover of WWE 2K15. He's a legitimate #1 guy in the company. What do you say to that? He's got to do what he's got to do, and he's got to be the company man and carry the banner, and it is what it is. Now, moving on to the WWE Money in the Bank contract match, I believe that these guys stole the show. Hands down. You got Seth Rollins, Kofi Kingston, Dean Ambrose, RVD, Big Jack Swagger, Big Haas himself. I mean, Bad News Barrett wasn't able to make the match, and that really broke my heart. I wanted to see him in there. Didn't quite make it due to a shoulder separation, but I know he would have made the match that much more special. Overall, I know I'm forgetting, my man Dolph Ziggler, there we go. I cannot forget my man Dolph Ziggler. He did what he does best, and he almost stole the show. Now, he did not steal the entire show because Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins came out there and they rocked the house, man. They brought the house down. When Dean Ambrose came back after having a storyline shoulder injury and clutching that shoulder nice and close to him, you really thought he may have gotten injured because of that kind of match. He runs back out to take Seth Rollins down, but he's toppled by none other than the big red monster, Kane. And Seth Rollins sealed the deal, grabbed the contract, and he is Mr. Money in the Bank as Triple H, the WWE COO, guaranteed. Now, should Seth Rollins be Mr. Money in the Bank? Absolutely. 100% great booking decision. And I'll tell you why. Seth Rollins right now is one of the best talents WWE has. Right now, independent wrestling and independent wrestlers and the style of wrestling and the wrestling acumen that these guys bring to the table is popular. It's on the rise. You don't believe me? Watch NXT. Who do we want to see? Adrian Neville, Tyson Kidd, guys like that, Justin Gabriel, guys who put on a phenomenal show. RVD has had such longevity because we know we're going to see an exciting, high-flying, high-octane offense from a competitor like RVD. So what do we want to see now? We want to see guys who can deliver and guys who can keep us entertained, which is why Daniel Bryan has gone so far. Seth Rollins is going to be the man, let's face it, he is the future of the WWE. Dean Ambrose is running a close second. Many of you, I know, are going to disagree with me on this point, but I've got to say it, and I've got to stand strong and firm. Roman Reigns is number 3 in terms of the former Shield members who can make a large impact. Many are saying, and even Stone Cold Steve Austin has said, Roman Reigns is a big superstar coming up. Big deal coming out. He's the next big thing. However, I'm just not buying it, Roman. Sorry, brother. I love you. Pensacola, Florida representing. I appreciate that. But I'm not buying it. I think Roman Reigns needs a lot more polishing. If he's not careful, he can get pushed into that 1.5 dimensional category. And he's not exactly what the wrestling world will need for years to come. He's going to have to really get polished, really work on more than that Superman punch, more than that kangaroo kick he does on the apron, more than his spear. He's really going to have to define himself a bit more because he's still wearing the Shield gear, the same ring attire. We don't really know Roman Reigns personally. We just know that he's volatile. He's a bad guy who will come out and rip your head off. Great. There's a lot of guys like that, and there have been a lot of guys like that. Now what we need to see is a competitor who can show us a cerebral game, which Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins bring to the table. Overall, Money in the Bank was a good pay-per-view. I give it a solid, and I might be reluctant on this, but I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Why? Because again, it was lots of filler, could have been a whole lot more thriller. Well, guys, I gotta go. I gotta wrap it up. But this is Brian Jemison reporting live for CouchRiderReport.net. And make sure you keep tuned in as we'll post more videos and more updates and articles on the WWE. our couch to yours. This